In this one, I'll be doing a tag and the name is Meteor Freakout tag. It's a fun tag consisting of some questions that we have to answer based on our reads of first 6 months of the year. So I'm excited to do this tag. I'll be answering these questions based on my reads from Jan till June, and I'm excited for the same. I did this tag last year, and since then I haven't actually tried too many tags on this channel. The other one I tried was comic book love tag, and I don't really remember what all questions I answered in that tag. So yeah, I haven't actually tried too many tags, but I'm excited for this one. Let's answer those questions. There are, I believe, 12 or 13 odd questions, and I'm excited to answer all of them. So let's roll the intro first. We'll later jump into this video and I'll answer all those questions. Hey guys, welcome back to my new video. Everyone's doing absolutely fine. For those who are new to my channel, I'm Divyam, and you will find book reviews, unboxings, vlogs, and a lot many other fun stuff related to books and fandom. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can hit the subscribe button. And now let's start this video. So now I'll be answering all those questions. Let's roll the first one and let's start this video. Let's start the Meteor Freakout tag 2021. I think it would be Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. It's the third book in the Stormlight archive and it's a part of Cosmere. It's by my favorite author Brandon Sanderson. So it's the hardcover, like Thor fantasy, and I totally loved and enjoyed this book. I think it was my first or maybe second read of the year, and I finished this one in Jan. Like, I started reading this book last year in December, but I finished it in Jan. So yeah, I won't be talking more about this book because I just don't want to spoil anything for you because it's the third book, but it is having some added elements of fantasy and all those things that we have come across in the first two books, and it is fun ride like the other two books, and I am in love with this series. I totally love this one, and I can't really recommend you Stormlight Archive anymore. Just pick it up if you are a big fantasy fan. So yeah, the best book that I read in this year so far out of those 26 books that I finished in this year is Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. It's the third book in the Stormlight Archive. I think it would be Six of Crows sequel, that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. It's a YA fantasy, and you can actually read this one if you are into such kind of reads that are quick and full of action and all those stuff, adventures and all those things. So it's a great book and I liked it more than Six of Crows. I rated that one 5 stars, and the same goes for this one. I enjoyed reading this one. It is following those 6 characters that were a part of that book, Six of Crows, and it explores their story further because that one actually ended on a cliffhanger. So I wanted to complete that arc, I wanted to complete that story, and that's the reason I picked it up, but that too after 1 year. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I also read like a couple of more sequels in the last 6 months, but still, if I have to pick, I'll pick Crooked Kingdom because it was a fun ride and I liked it more than the last one. That was the Six of Crows. So yeah, this is the second book. The best sequel I read in 2021, Crooked Kingdom. It's the collector's edition. Let's jump on to the next question. I think I'm looking forward to read Malibu Rising or maybe Six Crimson Cranes in the upcoming months because they are recently released. Like, I wanted to read Heartstopper Volume 4 and The Shadow of the Gods, but I already read those books, so I'm not exactly having any kind of a list for this year that I want to read, any kind of a new release that I want to read. But still, if I have to pick, I'll pick these two books because a couple of like book boxes were doing these books and there were a lot of buzz behind these books. So maybe I'll try these ones, and I'm excited for Six Crimson Cranes because I heard about that author a lot. I haven't actually read any of her works, but I'm looking forward to it, and she's quite famous, so I'm like looking forward to read like Six Crimson Cranes or maybe other works by her. So yeah, let's see what I can read, but if I get a chance, I'll get these books, Malibu Rising or maybe Six Crimson Cranes. So yeah, that was the third question. Let's jump on to the fourth one. One book that I'm looking forward to read by the end of this year would be Aristotle and Dante's sequel that will be releasing after a long gap of maybe 10 years. Like, I recently finished the first book, that is Aristotle and Dante Discovers the Secrets of the Universe, and I totally enjoyed reading that one and I liked reading that one, and it's a sequel that is releasing after 10 long years, so I'm looking forward to it. Though I have recently read it, but I'm still equally excited for the same, so I'm looking forward to read. I think the name is Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Water of the Worlds. I think that's the correct name. If not, I'll leave the name over here. So yeah, that's the book that I want to read. It's releasing in October, maybe in November, I'm not exactly sure, but it is releasing in 2021. that's sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that book. Let's see how the journey goes with those two characters. It's a LGBTQ rec, and I totally enjoy reading that one. So yeah, let's jump on to the next question. Let's see what we have. My biggest disappointment would be The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. It's the book that I read in Feb, if I'm not wrong, and I didn't really like this one. I rated it 2 stars out of 5. It followed like 3 women. I think it was written through 3 point of views, like 3 women from this book, and the main character was, I believe, Megan. So I didn't really like this one. It was quite dull, it was quite boring, and it was quite predictable after the first half. So it was about solving a murder mystery, and it was like having some quite intense moments, and still I didn't really like it. I was having some high hopes, as I've said, and I'm yet to watch the movie for the same. So hopefully the movie they made is good, but I'm not exactly sure if I'll be watching it. So this is the book that I rated 2 stars out of 5, but I'm looking forward to read any other Paula Hawkins books. Like I already have a copy of Into the Water, so I'll give it a chance and give it a chance like a second chance to the author. Let's see what's in that book and if I like that one or not. So it's the book I rated 2 stars. There were 3 to 4 more books that I rated 2 or 2.5 stars, but still I'm taking the name of The Girl on the Train because it will rank the first if I have to say. So yeah, this was the book that I didn't really like. It was a disappointment for me. Let's jump on to the next question. Biggest surprise for me would be Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. This is one of those books I read on Kindle, and later I got a copy for the same, like it's a hardcover. I got it on a great discount, on a great deal. So it's one of those books that I totally loved. And why I'm saying it surprised me, because one of the reasons was pretty simple. If you have checked my review for the same book, then you have like rightly guessed. I didn't really like the first half of this book, and it was quite confusing, and the characters were quite irritating, and I didn't really like it, and I was feeling I'll be rating this book maybe 2 stars, 3 stars, but at the end I ended up giving 5 stars to this book because I ended up loving with the characters again. Why I'm saying again, because I also read the one more book by this author that was A Man Called Ove, and I totally loved the characters in that one, and I fell in love with these characters again. So he's my favorite author. If I have to name any kind of author who is one of my favorites, who is like my favorite standalone authors, then Fredrik Backman is the name, and I totally loved and enjoyed this book. It was having some kind of a bank robbery in it, and it was, if I have to say, it was some kind of a comedy type of a book, and I totally enjoyed it. It had a perfect message, a perfect ending, and some great characters. So yeah, you can see the book and the cover, and it is a perfect hardcover, as you can see. Also, it is having some illustration if I have to show. So yeah, this was the book Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. It totally surprised me and I totally loved it. I'm looking forward to read it again. Like that's the reason I got a hardcover, so that I can read it again. So yeah, that was the book. Let's jump on to the next question. I think my new favorite author would be John Gwynne. He's a fantasy author, and I recently read his The Shadow of the Gods. Totally enjoyed that book. I also reviewed the same on my channel. If you want, you can check it out. Totally loved that book, as I've said, and it was having some kind of a Vikings theme, and I totally loved the magic system, the characters, and the writing style of the author. It was written in 3 point of views, and I totally loved and enjoyed reading that one. And also reading the Faithful and the Fallen series right now, and I'm having a read along for the same. If you want, you can join in for the same. So you'll find the announcement video link in the description box below. You can check that video. We'll be having, most probably we'll be having our discussion on 31st of this month, 31st July. So you can join in and you can be a part of the same. So yeah, do pick up Malice by John Gwynne and let's read it together. Let's enjoy it together. And if you are a fantasy fan, you are up for a treat. So yeah, my new favorite author would be John Gwynne. I totally love that author, and I'm looking forward to get all of his books real soon. I think I will take Louisa Clark's name over here, From Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. She is one of those characters I totally loved because she was having some energy and she was too eager in this book, and I liked her bits from the same, like she was making me smile and her bits were like amazing. So I liked her character, but I didn't really like the book. I rated it 2 stars out of 5. Now I know the fans will totally kill me because it's a highly popular book, and this is my unpopular opinion. I'll be shooting a review for this one real soon, but if I have to tell a couple of pointers why I didn't really like the book, then it would be the ending that I didn't really like. I'm not a big fan of the ending. I didn't really like the other characters from the book, be it Will Turner or his family. I didn't really like them, and these are a couple of reasons. I'll be shooting a spoilery review real soon. Let's see when that can be. But if I have to take the name of a fictional crush, that would be Louisa Clark from Me Before You. My favorite character would be Thorn Bathu from Shattered Sea trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. So it's a fantasy, YA fantasy series that I recently finished reading, and I'm yet to shoot a series review for the same. But if I have to say, that was my favorite character, Thorn Bathu from Shattered Sea trilogy. Totally enjoyed her character. She was fierce, she was amazing, she was having some skills, and she was a fighter, and that's the reason I totally loved and enjoyed her bits. I didn't really like the first book, like I didn't really had any kind of a favorite character from the first book, but she was introduced in the second one, and from then on I totally loved and enjoyed that book, and I totally loved and enjoyed her character. And if I have to take a name, I would totally say Thorn Bathu, and she was like reminding me of some characters from Game of Thrones, if I have to say, be it Arya Stark or Brienne of Tarth. So yeah, I would totally say Thorn Bathu, and I totally enjoyed her bits. That was my favorite character from a fantasy, from a YA fantasy, Shattered Sea by Joe Abercrombie. I think I can answer both the questions with just one book, and the name is House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. So this is one of those books I totally loved and adored. Again, this is having a different kind of a theme, and it was a fantasy book mixed with a lot many emotions. Like I had some tears of joy, some tears of happiness and all those things, and I had some mixed emotions, as I've said, and I totally loved this one. It followed a character who went to some mysterious island to inspect an orphanage having some different kind of creatures, different kind of kids, and he fell in love with that place. So it's a mysterious kind of a book, it is a mysterious kind of an island, and I would seriously recommend you to pick this one if you are looking forward to any kind of a feel-good book, any kind of a LGBTQ rec, and just pick it up. You will have the same emotions that I had, the tears of joy and the happiness that I guaranteed. So yeah, that was the book House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I am looking forward to read any other books by this author real soon. I think there are 3 to 4 more books by the author, so I'm looking forward to explore those. So yeah, that was the book. Let's jump on to the next question. Most beautiful book that I bought in the first half of the year would be Brandon Sanderson's Rhythm of War. It is just beautiful, and it is one of the costliest purchase for me the first 6 months of the year. So I already did an unboxing for this book. If you're planning to get this book real soon, then you can check that unboxing. You will find some close-up snippets, at the same time the price of the same, and you will find some more details about this book. So yeah, this was the book that I bought this month, bought this year, and I totally enjoyed getting this one. It was my most beautiful cover, most beautiful book, and I also enjoyed reading the same. So yeah, this was the book Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, the most beautiful book that I bought in the first 6 months of this year, and it's the beautiful book that I bought, this one. So yeah, this is the book Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. Let's jump on to the last question for this tag. I think it will be tough to answer this question considering I'm having so many unread books on myself, on my Kindle and all those things. So it's a tough question, but if I have to take a name, I'd certainly say a couple of Wheel of Time books by the end of this year, because I don't really have book 7 with me. So maybe book 5 and 6 I can finish before that series drops on Prime, or maybe Witcher books, because I've read The Last Wish. That's the first book in that series. It's a compilation of short stories, so maybe I can start that series after reading one more like short story book kind of a book. I think there are 6 more books in that series, so maybe a couple of more books, more Witcher books before that series drop in December. So these are a couple of choices. Even if I have to take any more name, I would totally say Aristotle and Dante's sequel, or any other book, be it Faithful and the Fallen series, because I am hosting a read along for the same. So yeah, these are some of the picks that I want to read in this year, but there are hundreds and 200s kind of books on myself, on my Kindle, that I want to read in this year, but I'm not taking a name of. So yeah, I'm a mood reader, so most probably I'll choose those books in the upcoming months, in the next 5 months. Hopefully I can finish them. So yeah, that was the mid-year freak out tag for the year 2021. I'll be doing this tag again next year, and if you like this video, do hit the like button. You can comment down below and let me know your answers related to these questions. If you have read any of these books, if you are planning to read any of these books I took name of, and you can also answer these questions yourself, just one or maybe all the 13 of them, in the comment section below. That's your choice. and you can like give me your feedback for this video, and you can share this video with your friends and family. I can get a little more reach. And also you can subscribe to my channel if not done already. You can also hit the notification bell if you haven't already did that. So that was all. We'll be catching up real soon. That was all for this video. I think the next one will drop most probably on Saturday or Sunday. Let's wait for the same. And that was all. Stay healthy, stay home, stay safe, and bye bye.